Recently, I've had more of an interest in electricity and electronics. I had taken a class in high school in electronics, and then in my first year of college, I was in an electronics program. But I didn't really prepare myself well enough with enough math background in high school, so I decided to try other studies. Now, with more time in my retirement, I'm using the time to relearn and learn new things. Here several years ago, I had purchased this simple kit for a shortwave radio from a company called Elanco. The components are just put together through a series of springs and jumper cables. You don't even have to solder. And the radio worked pretty good. Well, I took it out here a few weeks ago and started playing with it again. And, I was kind of impressed how I could get foreign countries through this little radio. So I decided I'd build another kit, and I purchased this AM/FM radio. And I've been struggling to put it together. I had a little issue here, but not reading the instructions as thorough as I should have. But I got past that, and it's working pretty good now, although I do not have the FM part of the radio working properly yet.
This radio kit costs around $20. It has a plastic framework. The circuit board is actually cardboard, which is fine. And you use wire coils to push in holes, and that's how you connect the components to the wire coils. I carefully laid out each of the bags and then opened them up and identified the parts. I sorted them, sorting resistors, transistors, capacitors, and then I went through each step and did the check off. Some of the parts are really small and the printing on them is really hard to read, so I would suggest using a small magnifying glass to identify the parts. It worked well for me. The holes need to be numbered per the instructions, and this has to be accurate or you'll get the connections wrong. Here you see the leads coming through the small holes that will be attached to the springs. The tuner comes pre-assembled. The instructions warn that it's rather delicate, so be careful when handling it. The tuner didn't seem like it worked all that well to me. Here is where I missed some jumper wires that go on the top of the circuit. It wasn't in the part that's checked off, but it is in the instructions, and the radio would not work without it. With the cables installed, when I plugged in the battery, the radio came on very loud, but I could only seem to get one station. It didn't seem to matter when I moved the turning dial. When I change the connections to receive FM, all I get is this buzzing noise, and I haven't been able to figure that out, so it'll take some more research. The instructions give a brief overview of how a radio works, but to understand it in more detail, additional study will be needed. I've been watching some good YouTube videos on related topics. Thanks for watching, and there'll be more updates to come.